This month is going to be a little different than most months for various reasons. Hey everybody, today I'm setting up my bullet journal for September 2018, and I think this is going to be a 2-month journal. I have gotten this deep in because of the memory keeping I'm doing, and I actually am filming this about a week before September's over, so I counted out the number of pages I would need for the rest of my bullet journaling and memory keeping for the end of August to get it to here. I'll flip through all of the stuff I did over the last week or so when I do my weekly setup next week. But for now, I figured I'll just get September set up. And I'm doing something a little bit different this month for a couple of reasons. First of all, this month is going to look different for me because I'm spending 2 weeks of it out of town taking care of my brother-in-law who's donating his kidney to my sister, which is amazing, and I'm so excited to do it. That's why the Plan As You Go month I had intended for this month is getting moved to October. Secondly, I'm also starting doing a challenge I haven't done before. So I'm still doing my 2 regular challenges, but I'm also going to be doing a 30 days. It's called 30 Days of Lists. It's a paid challenge. I think it's $10. I heard about it on the Crafty Ass Female podcast, and I'll leave the challenge and the podcast linked down below. But it sounded like something interesting and would give me something to do that's creative when I'm away from all of my art supplies, especially in the last 2 weeks of the month. With having this challenge, with having my month look different because of these things going on, I decided that I wanted to set my bullet journal up a little bit, try some different things. I've been trying to use my stuff more. I have a lot of stuff, and I'm trying to use more of it in my bullet journal. And I also want to show ways I want to experiment with ways to make it look really cool without necessarily needing to know how to doodle all the things, because I know some people struggle with feeling like they're not good enough at doodling. So I figured this could be a fun way. Who knows? And maybe I won't like it. Maybe I won't do it again. So we'll see what happens. But I have this Planner Society kit. It's the one that came, I think, this month. She sent it to me. I've never used it in my bullet journal before, so I'm going to give it a try. And what I'm going to do is cover this entire cover page for September with this paper. And then my vision is to letter September on white sticker paper and then cut around it and then put it on top of this and then cut around that and then slap that in the middle of this. That's the vision. I'm going to do it right now. We'll see how it works. This could be a hot ass mess, and this could add way more chunkiness than I intended, but who cares, right? So I think what I'm going to do is glue this down. I think I've got the right amount of spacing here, and then I'll just trim around the corners. And I think to keep this middle area from peeling up and pissing me off, I'm going to use this just pink solid washi and run it down the middle, I think. I don't know what's going to go here, probably swatches, but I think if I put the majority of the washi on this page, it won't bug me that much. I kind of like this, and I think I kind of hate it. We'll see how it goes. I'm not trying to cut it down the middle. I'm just trying to kind of snug it in, which requires a really light hand, something I'm not known for. Yeah, that'll work. So I'm going to layer this guy on top, but the first thing I need to do, I keep hitting the camera because I got so much shit all over my desk. I had to cut out a section of sticker paper that was going to that would fit, even if it was gigantic on here, so that I can letter on top of this. That's not gonna fit. September. Let's try that again. I don't want to go for gray. Yeah, this Kelly Creates gray. I think the warm gray is gonna look really pretty. Writing the word September all fancy with these flowers is making me think of Taylor Swift's really unnecessary cover of September by Earth, Wind & Fire. I feel like if I put this pattern on top of it, it's going to be too busy. I think I need something solid. I have some pale colored cardstock. I think that this actually will be better than a patterned situation. And we'll cut around this, leaving a border. All right, I think this will look good. So I'm going to just glue this down. And there's my cover page. Let's see. It's different than, as an example, here is the August cover page. But you know what? I like it. I think it's pretty. In my journey to try and figure out my planner system, I did a video last week where I did a bunch of brainstorming. So I'm going to incorporate some things into this bullet journal setup to maybe help me with that. But I'm also going to be dropping some things. I dropped some things in this new bullet journal. I dropped a future log. I dropped certain things that just weren't working for me. And the first thing I'm going to drop in this new setup is my habit tracker. And the reason I'm dropping it is because I got rid of all the work habits in the bullet journal and the daily habits of drinking enough water and getting up on time and doing my challenges. Honestly, I don't really feel the need for them anymore. I'm doing them pretty much okay. And if I start falling off like the doing these things, if I start to like not stay on top of my shit, then maybe I'll put a habit tracker in. But right now it's not really serving any purpose for me. So what instead I'm going to do here is I'm going to put my challenges here. And my monthly, what Mari on my podcast called her intentions list, that's going to be a spot to put all of the things that I intend to get done in September. Instead of saying it's my to-do list or the shit I have to do list, I think I'll cut my challenges out. I did not know what colors my shit was going to be this month, and I think I picked colors that are a little bit more outlandish, but that's okay. They're not even the same size. You can tell I was like having trouble, I guess, this month. If you're looking for the printables for these, and even though I haven't really glamorized them, you can find them in the Llama's Love Lettering Facebook group and on my website, cindyguentert-baldo.com. I had to stop filming because I actually had a phone call and had to go take care of something family related, and then it was the weekend and we were busy with the football game and the marching band and all the things. So I'm actually finishing filming this 2 days from when I started filming this. So my nails look like hot ass bullshit, and it's, anyway, I just give you the disclaimer that I got interrupted, so I got to figure out where in the hell I was. So we're here. This was the start of September, and then this was my challenges page, and I was going to use this page to create an intentions list, the terminology thanks to Mari Mundo, and I will link her Patreon down below if you'd love to hear some of her like lives and things that she does talking about productivity. She's a boss. And this is the washi tape from the same Planner Society kit that I'm pulling the other stuff for this month from. I'm going to put this die cut right here. And part of the reason I'm using so much stuff and making this kind of gigantic, it's not just because I want to use stuff for the sake of using stuff. I actually have a reason for this. My biggest reason is that I tend to make really long, really just enormous to-do lists, and I never get through them, and it's demoralizing. So I figure if I just make the top of this super pretty and elaborate, it makes less space for the rest of my list, and so it forces me to not make a list that's not going to be possible to accomplish this month. So I'm using pretty shit and stickers and washi tape to try and corral in some of my instincts to just overload myself. That might seem a little odd. I'm going to see if it works for me. Now, this may seem a little extra for a to-do list, and it probably is. And like calling it intentions list still kind of has a weird ring to it for me in terms of like the word intentional sometimes gets overused. But I like the idea of this because it'll help me by making it a smaller list. It will reduce the feelings of failure. And by calling it intentions instead of to-do list, it changes how I'm thinking about it. At least this is what I'm going off of from my podcast interview with Mari, and I think I've mentioned it several times so far. I don't remember because I filmed half of this yesterday or 3 days ago. The point being is that my podcast is linked down below if you want to go check out the 2-parter episode, because I think it was very insightful, mostly on Mari's part, not mine. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to divide it up into work, home, and church, because my church shit is picking back up again, and then I'll go back and fill this in when I'm not on camera. So we have the cover page, we have this. Now we have to get the spread set up for my challenges. Instead of writing it in here, I'm going to put it up here on a little flag. So there are my 3 challenge spreads. We'll see. I managed to keep this like mostly off of it because I usually need every single scrap of room for my doodle challenge, but I have 2 spreads for my lettering, 1 for my doodles. Now the last thing that I wanted to add to this monthly setup is actually something new. I wanted to do a monthly spread to incorporate some of the things that I talked about in my Friday video last week, where I brainstormed all the different ways I need to use my shit and where I'm going to put things when having to do with work, like what goes in my Bujo, what goes in my Erin Condren, what might go on a Google Calendar, whatever the case may be. I kind of worked on that. I have a list of some things that I made here, which I'll mark with the bookmark so I don't lose it, to create what I want to, like, basically what I'm thinking about creating is a checklist for all of the things I should do every day or every week that are kind of upkeep things, you know, like ads and stuff like that. Things like, so it's not like something like a habit box where I need to check it off. It's a reference sheet where I'll mark in my bullet journal, you know, upkeep checklist, and then I go through it and I just go down the list, right? Whether I want to check it off or not. I don't know if I want to or not, but I want to do a checklist, and then I want to do something to help me track my stats. I'm still not really in a place where I want to do hardcore goal setting, but at the very least, if I make a spot for all of my different statistics so that I can mark, oh hi Mock, where they are at the beginning of the month and then at the end of the month and maybe mid-month. That's kind of what this is going to be. It's going to be a monthly overview for work shit, and we'll see if this works. I've done months in review and things like this before and they haven't worked for me. I want to try this out. Like, I want to see if I can make something that's going to work. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is take some of this Planner Society washi tape and washi tape the shit out of this thing. Figure I might as well just go ham, right? My little tape runner ran out. It's one of the samples you get with the Tombow order. I have several of them. I haven't actually bought the real ones. I've just gotten the samples over and over again. Now I'm going to go and check the things that are on that list to figure out what I'm going to be putting on this page. Here's my daily upkeep checklist. These are things I should be doing every day, or at least checking on every day. And then this will be the section for my stats. This is pretty simplistic, but I like the way it looks. So I think that that's going to be my setup for the month. I'm doing the intentions list, but I'm not doing a calendar in here because I've got it in 2 other places. I don't need it here. But this will be the start of my next week. And then when I'm done with my previous week, and I'll bullet journal here, etc., etc. What do you think about using like die cuts and stickers and scrapbook paper in your bullet journal? Like, this is not something I usually do, but I'm attempting to use the shit that I have and trying to find ways to be creative that don't necessarily involve me drawing, because not that I don't like drawing, I love drawing, but I want to explore different options as well and kind of get through a lot of the stuff I've accumulated. So let me know what your thoughts are. Do you do that, or are you thinking about doing that? Does this make it look like a way you can make your journal look pretty without having to worry about whether you can draw? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.